Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Good. So today, after listening to your reports, we're planning to continue the debate we started last time. But this time we're having a leader, so we are two leaders. Me and Ms. Ahlam, we are going to debate. So she's going to choose a team or anybody who can go with her and come with me. Okay? And I ask you, if you remember last time, to search more. But before we start, I would be interested in listening to one report of yours. I want a different, yes? Okay. Just come here.
Being absent for 2 sequential poetry lectures is something you can describe, especially after your admiration to each word given in the class. Here I was absent for 2 days and I didn't come to the university because of some pandemic circumstances. They told me about the collection of reports and the repetitive marks. Anyway, I watched the videos and they wrote my reports, which is something necessary in my day. What happened in the last lecture reminded me of what we did in Marlowe and Rely, but now it is different. It's between two ideas or two themes in the same poem. We have to decide if this poem is about the Industrial Revolution or the poetic imagination. Two groups were debated and both of them gave good arguments and analysis. For me, I am really confused that you can't say it is something for revolutionary poetry because it's written in the revolution time. Ordinarily, the poem will represent the theme of industrial revolution. However, when you see the words or the poems itself, it comes to your mind that it talks about the poetic imagination. I really don't know, but for sure, after analysis and my search and study, I hopefully will reach the point. Thereafter, Dr. Habib shows some videos that describe how England was and how the Industrial Revolution changed everything, even the purity of countryside.
Good, thank you very much. Yes, it seems like we succeeded in baffling you, because that was the intention, to baffle you and to make you research more, because yes, you don't know what is it about, so you have to research and to see what is it about. Okay, yes, Jihan, do you want to redeem yourself because you keep absent and you don't like to see the surprises? Do you know what the surprise?
It sounds like a bad one.
No. Okay.
Okay.
It's a good one. You come here.
Okay, this is more... I'm baffled as well, so... Tyger, Tyger, by Blake's hand, in the night the eyes do stand, created by God, burning bright, and then by the poet, another in sight. Framed good and framed bad, they say that's exactly industrial land. But poetics I see, a poet stand, so perplexing it might, be this or that, or a third invoked fright.
Well, good. Clap for her. Again, she is hinting to the dilemma we have of interpretations. And today's class, as the title of today's class, it is debating the different interpretations of Blake's The Tyger. So now, last time we just tried to touch upon slightly two different interpretations. The most prominent one is the one about the Tyger is about the Industrial Revolution, and the most intellectual one, I would say, it is about the poetic imagination. It is about the artistic creation. We want to see you interacting today, and that's why we devised a new plan or a new strategy of having an experienced teacher with me, and we are debating. And of course, I'm debating today against my conviction, which is, perhaps an art of debate. So, I'd like people to come this side to share with Ms. Ahlam, who's ready. She's adopting the poetic creation. And we're going to have the poem. Yes? Again, Khalid, we are going to have a debate, like last time. Okay, you just come here. Okay. Please. Anyone who wants to side with her? With them? Okay, let's see. This is like you come either side, here or there. So I'm afraid nobody is going to side with me. Okay. Yes? You can have you bring chairs. We need the poem though. Okay, okay. We need like some people to come on my side. Yes, it's about Industrial Revolution. Okay. You want me to be alone? Okay. Yes. Yes, Rawand. And now we are like the other Rawand. You see? Yes, do you want like... No, you just sit Rawand like... We don't have two Rawands. This will... Okay. No, it's not there. We have it here. So, you need a mic. Khalid, do they have a mic? Just one mic? Okay.
Just leave it with me.
That's okay. So, and we have to vote who's winning. You know? Like at the end, there will be a voting. So, what do you think? Like, is the tiger about poetic imagination, artistic imagination, or is it about, the Industrial Revolution? Okay. Shall we start by you? By your team? Yes? What do you think? Yes.
All right. I think like the era before Blake, the poetry lacked imagination. They were too concerned about rationalism and reason and, discussing these themes in their poetry. And then Blake was the pre-romantic. So he started, or he initiated, by his works, the poetic imagination, a broader sense of thematic tacklement in his poetry. And here in the Tiger, like, we saw a lot of indications like hand, eye, frame, and then some oxymorons, and he's showing like God's creation, but then he framed it in a way to give us a deeper meaning, to see what's beyond this creation, to see like he reflected like the bad and the good, like he showed us a creation of art, and that's what I see like is very prominent about this poem in particular.
Okay, thank you. Do you want to add anything? You just come closer here. Yes. Do you want to respond to that?
I think that William Blake is considered one of the Romanticism poets, and they were all concerned about like criticizing the Industrial Revolution and in all their poetry. So he's considered one of them. So he's also criticizing the Industrial Revolution.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you might be true to some extent, because what you said like has to do with the general things. You're right. It's not about the poem. It's not about imagination, but like Blake was interested, in imagination because he was writing something against the expectation of his time. But I think here in this poem, it is about industrial revolution. Like, as you see, there are many references in the poem which assert the fact that it is about the industrial revolution. This meticulous, process of designing, of framing, the tiger, seems to be like it is about industrial revolution. Okay? You can use the other one.
It's okay.
Okay.
So, as you said, that the poem generally talks about a kind of revolution, whether it is a political revolution or a literary or again a poetic revolution. We can consider both of them inside the poem here, the tiger. So the sense, just as you said before, that the poem is talking about the Industrial Revolution or the French or the American Revolution, whatever revolution it is. So we can talk about revolutions in general inside
So you're
the poem.
giving me credit. Thank you very much. You're giving me credit.
It's okay. So from what you have said, again, the Industrial Revolution, we can talk about the poetic revolution inside the poem itself. As Jihan mentioned before too, that the age before William Blake is the age of reason, as you know. It is the Enlightenment period with all its, again, concerns about the human mind only, without, giving any concern to his feelings, his emotions, I mean the internal side of the human being. They dealt with him as a kind of robot or machine or something like that. But here we can take the tiger as the new creation of art.
Okay, thank you very much. It sounds interesting, but let us, gently disagree with you.
Okay.
And I'm not sure, whether one of my team members is going to have, this is the art of debating. We have to disagree with each other.
Actually, the poem is describing a process, and we all know that Industrial Revolution is concerned with the process, to produce something. And in the tiger, it can be seen as it symbolized the Industrial Revolution by the process of its creation.
Yeah, and I'm going to add to that, if you look here at this creation, it is a monster-like. It is a monster. It is like a monster. And what is more monstrous than the Industrial Revolution? So here, if you look at the tiger, it is, very frightening. It is very horrifying. And yes, that was, I know some of you would say, what about, fearful symmetry? Yes, of course, the Industrial Revolution has its glimmering, shimmering aspect. But again, it is deep inside. It has corrupted. It corrupts. The people. It has a moral corruption, like social corruption. So I think this is not like an ordinary tiger. It is a mythical. It is a monster, and it reminds me of Shelley Frankenstein. You see what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Who wants to say something?
Okay.
It's okay. Okay. Give it to them, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I want to say from the poem itself, why he chose the tiger and the lamb. Might he mean the lamb, his earlier poem, which he wrote in the past. So in the line, who he wrote the tiger, who wrote the lamb. So he might be referred to the poet himself, and the following tiger, which follow the poem the lamb. So he chose the lamb and the tiger to show that this is the.
They are created by the same creator. Thank you very much. Yeah, what do you think? Yes.
Actually, the lamb was like the songs of innocence, and it was describing the childhood and the innocence of a child before they were corrupted as a grown-up or adult. I think the tiger is like a contradictory to the lamb. As the child grow up, so he will be corrupted by the Industrial Revolution to forget what is the purpose of life, how he can be like the innocence and good in his heart. Like it would be replaced by evil and the determination for more products and for materialism purposes mostly.
Do you want to add anything?
As Rowan what said, I agree with her that the tiger, it's about the industrial revolution, because the tiger has two things, the bad side and the good side. So it is
this applies to industrial revolution.
Yeah,
Does
it has two
apply to
sides.
imagination? Because now if we are talking about imagination, it might not apply to imagination.
Only a good side.
No, it has one side. The imagination has its one. Yeah.
You have to think. Good.
So the tiger has two sides. That she is very fearful. It's very beautiful. At the same time, the industrial revolution, maybe it's destroy the nature, destroy the countryside. But in the same time, it has something useful. It has a lot of advantages.
Let us stick to their main proposition, which says like we have a difference between the tiger and like the lamb. I think here the question is like the persona in the poem is exclaiming, is asking, because this is a monster. Like, did the one who create the lamb create thee? So it is a surprising, because this is like a monster.
But we should think of the other side. I mean,
yes.
here. Okay.
We have one.
Yeah, another time.
So I mean,
Is it a monster for whom?
Yes.
The other question. So it is okay. We can agree that it is a monster, but it is a monster for whom? Is it a monster for the new romantic, the new period, or for the previous period? I mean, before romanticism, the new classical. So this is another thing. So if we go again to the fearful symmetry. Symmetry, it is the shape of poetry. This is what we can consider here. But it is fearful. Fearful for whom? Is it fearful for, the new generation or the previous generation? So it might be fearful for them because it is a kind of a revolutionary one, a rebellious one. Since we can consider, again, William Blake as a rebel, as a revolutionary poet. So here we can go deeply again inside the poem itself and prove our, stand here. So
thank you. It's a strong proposition, which we have to respond. Yes.
Also, here, like the main focus, if you see whether the lamb or the tiger, you see that the main focus, not only the thematic focus, but also the stylistic focus is on creation. Like when you said, okay, there's the good side and the bad side, this is something like just a part of the theme, and you related that to industrial revolution. However, if you think of poetic imagination, it includes the theme, it includes the style, the references in the poem,
I do respect what you say, guys, but it seems like you are not looking closely at the poem. You are not looking at the word frame. And I think frame, it has to do with, artificial. Like, we don't talk about imagination framing.
No,
but frame, it is but it is framing. It is more artificial. When we are talking about framing, it is more artificial. It is not the job or the job of imagination. Imagination might have more superior, but this has to do with framing. And again, we are talking about the whole creation as like if you see somebody is seizing the fur, braces, like the place, see?
But the fire as a word is used so much actually by the romantics. To mean something which is eternal, something which is immortal. And immortality, again, is a key word in romanticism.
Yeah, but again, this is a satanic fire.
And also,
it is a satanic fire. It is Satan burning bright, it contradicts with the lamp.
How you can say that it is satanic and there is immortal hand? And this
but look at what the dread hand, what dread feet,
Again, dread for whom?
It is, it is
perplexing, and it is actually horrifying for the previous generation. Yeah, that's sad. So
also you can see, you can take the fact that, okay, there is something about satanic, there's something about really good and divine.
Yeah, but if you
can
look,
see that made by the poet himself. He managed to frame it in a way to show you the good and the bad. So it can be related to anything.
But if we look at the real life of the English people, how it was transformed by that hideous monster, I would say hideous monster, because it transfigured the whole life of the English people. Like people were the life of the people was mechanical. You know, a lot of people were abused. You know, women were abused in the factory. So don't you think this is satanic? Don't you think this is, you know, fearful?
No.
It is symmetry, yes. It, you know, organized, it framed their life from the outside. They, you know, they were more urbanized. However, there was moral degradation. There, you know, there was like political degradation, social degradation. So we're talking about, you know, a relapse in human values.
Well, how then do you explain all the words that refer to creation to change in the poetic sense of the age? Like the previous age used to have different style, different words, different references. Right. And here the focus seems to be on changing and shifting that style of writing into something more.
Yeah, but look here, he's still using the heroic couplet, you know. So what shift you are taking?
That's why
right
he's
and nine.
pre-romantic.
So this is why, no, this is not pre-romantic. No, heroic couplet is Alexander Pope and John Dowden. So you know, and this is, you know, I think it is mechanical. So if we're talking about this, can you help me, guys?
I'm agree with Dr. Akram that it is a mechanical revolution because he used, as he said, he used the same couplet of the previous era. So,
but as a romantic poet, he cannot get rid of actually all the styles of the previous.
Yeah.
If he want to make a revolution,
he gave it a different. Even the heroic couplet, he managed to give it a different feel.
No, but if he wants to make a new revolution, he has to change everything, in the poem, to convince us about his idea, about his
There's something called step by step.
Exactly, that's it. It is not one jump.
It's not all like.
It is a revolution,
yeah,
so he has to.
Going to help either side, right?
No, it's okay. We can help ourselves. I guess.
Yes. Because I see somebody from the audience. We have a question. Yes, there.
Maybe he meant by the word tiger the poet himself. You know, tiger means William Blake because he is in the same. He may be afraid of his era to like revolute on them or to be like.
So he meant himself like he was a tiger.
Poetry.
The new kind of poetry.
Yeah, the new kind of poetry.
Yeah. This is the tiger.
Thank you very much.
Very good.
Very
yes.
Bright, again.
But again, like, I don't know, how would you look at the word der, it's deadly terror. Like here, we don't have fearful symmetry, but we have deadly terror.
What is it?
Deadly terror. It is. You know, it is here.
Yeah.
Der, it's deadly. You know,
terror,
here,
yeah.
what the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain, what the anvil, what the dead grass. There, it's now we are no longer.
Maybe
you know, we are no longer given this image of the tiger, which is beautiful, and at the same time it is terrible. It's deadly terror. You know,
maybe the old poetry. It can be deadly terror.
Yeah, but old poetry, how come, you know, it is deadly terror,
poetry,
you know?
because it's
so do you want to say that this creation, he's creating something old?
No,
I don't
he's actually comparing and contrasting, sort of.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, between the old kind of poetry that is very systemized, very dreadful, very terror.
But again,
and what dread hand, what dread feet, what this creator or poet is.
If you go back to the first line of the poem here, tiger, fire, burning bright.
Yes.
So the word burning and bright, both of them. Burning here, it reflects the efforts that the poet is exerting to bring something new, which comes again bright, something new.
Yeah, it's burning. It's like electricity. It's burning bright, but it has like a lot of atrocities.
So bring something new, which is bright for the new generation.
But like, look in the forest of the night.
In the forest, what is the forest of the night? It is, the old ages. The
but
of the old
like,
ages.
who are active at the forest of the night? Like, we are talking about animals, wild animals, you know, like monsters, deadly things. You know, this is what we are talking about. And you know, nobody would approach a burning bright in the forest. It is dark. So, and we have the night, which is always traditionally associated with evil.
Which is a bright in the darkness of the old ages.
Yes.
It is like, you know, this applies to machinery, which, you know, changed the life of the countryside. But it was like, yes, it changed the life of the countryside, but how? See? So it might apply to it.
So again, what immortal hand or eye? This is the immortal
Yes.
hand and the eye of the poet.
poet.
Because we mentioned before so many times that poetry is immortalizing things.
Yep.
It gives them, yeah.
Let's see another voice from the audience. Yes.
I think he refers to the machines. Machines need coal.
Thank you very much.
To make new products.
Okay.
But are they immortal hand?
And if you look like
Are
tiger,
they
tiger,
immortalizing?
burning bright, it's like very systematic. It's like a machine which goes, and if you look even at the rhythm,
Yeah.
you know, it is mechanical. It has to do with the sound of the machine.
Because he is attacking the
Tiger,
machines at that
tiger,
time.
tiger,
So,
burning
because of
bright.
this-
It is a machine-like. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Yes, yes, please. So, yeah, you can rally support.
It's okay.
Okay. Yes.
Your team take one side or one tool from the poem Immortal Hand. What about the other tools? What the hammers, what the chains?
Because it's to do with creation.
Tools to create a poem, create a poem.
Yeah, we use
So it's
words.
the
We don't
creation
use
of
hammer.
poetry.
And also
Create a
the
poem.
creation of
Yeah, he could have used like what words, what vocabulary you like, you know. But
Because
here,
he's
what the hammer, what the
utilizing-
chain, you know.
Utilizing
Yes.
the conditions of the
Okay,
time.
let's, you know.
About the word immortal, like it's like reflecting God or something you said, or but maybe it was how like people at that time looked at industrial revolution and machines and their product, and like they considered something like supernatural, so that the extent that they're starting to worship it and not being attention to the countryside and nature. So it might immortal reflect the industrial revolution and how people looked at it.
Thank you. Yes, Ms. Ahlam, like, yes. Go ahead. What the hammer, what the chain, in what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what red grass? There, it's dead letter grasp. So I don't think this is about poetic creation. This is, you know,
This can be like.
and look, when the stars, look here, when the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven. Like it is heaven, it seems like the heavenly, you know, creatures are angry because of this. You know, it is something which provoked the heavenly creatures, and they started to cry, they started to feel, because, you know, it abused like a human life, you know, it changed it, you know, innocence. So it is something, you know, very monstrous. It caused even heaven to sympathize with the human people.
Well, it can be also referred.
Okay, yes, there, Ola.
The hammer and the chain, as not just for the industrial revolution, but also for the poets. Like the hammer and the chain are the poets, like pen and paper and mind and feelings.
Yeah, he could have used pen and, you know, he could have used them,
Well,
you know,
that's the
that. Or
smartness
he
to be
could have hinted to that.
metaphorical.
Poets that can like compare his feelings and emotions to the others. So it's not just the hammers and the chains. We are not stuck to the text and such.
No, the text, you know, is a good evidence for our symbolic interpretation.
Beyond the meaning.
Yeah, it can be he's utilizing the vocabulary and the senses of the time and the previous era to attack their reason, their over rationality and overuse of systematic.
Yeah, this is very metaphoric, and I think, you know,
Yeah, you said
it is very metaphoric, but this, you know, is likely to apply to the poem, because as you see, like the word frame, as I said, and again it is their frame, because here, daring, you know, we are talking about something who is rebelling against the creator. Like, and who is the creature who rebelled against the creator? You know, is Satan. So this is satanic. We have a creature who is rebelling against the creator. You know, because here, there, you know, the word there again. So I think this is about a monstrous, you know, it's about the machine. It is about the Industrial Revolution. This is what I strongly believe in.
I love the machine.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, Rana?
But we love poetry more.
And we love poetry more.
This poem, the shape of this poem is talking about just like revolution against poetry. And William Blake.
Yeah, could you tell me how?
Yes, I want to explain.
Yes.
William Blake is a romantic one, okay? He used the vocabulary of this era to talk about to talk against them or to use it against them by, as you said here, like.
But what is more poetic than, you know, spears? Because it's part of the poetic diction. And yes, it's part of the poetic diction. And, you know, we know that, you know, this is, I think it is, you know, written by using most of the, you know, poetic devices used by the pre-Roman, by, you know, the neoclassical.
How about he's using both dictions? He's using the aspiring, the emotional words, and he's also using the bad and you know, hammer and all these to draw a comparison. Which one do you prefer?
Yeah, and I think
do you prefer the imagination and the, you know, the beautiful, beautified?
When Blake said, when the stars threw down their spears, I think in this stanza he's referring to Milton's Paradise Lost, because when Satan rebelled against God, he took his angels and he were in battle in heaven, and then when the angels beated Satan and his angels, they were extended to hell, and did he smile his work to see, like it reflects when God smiles about the angels that were defeated when they sins against him. And this also about can be applied about mankind. When a mankind, like when a man sins against God, he will be in heaven. And
I agree, but whoever said that Satan is necessarily the Industrial Revolution?
No, it's not that.
Satan can be the bad poetry.
Satan can be the evil.
Yeah,
the evil like and bad side of Industrial
Revolution. Devoid.
Okay, we need somebody to reconcile between us. You know, Palestinian reconciliation is unlikely, so we need poetic reconciliation.
And you said spears, like in Milton's Paradise Lost, angels use spears to beat other angels, and with their tears they were crying for their brothers who disappointed God and were punished by him to be in hell. Like it's all referring to the evil side of the poetic.
Yeah, the evil side of not having imagination in your poetry, of removing all kinds of imagination.
And who cries? And why spears? Like who the smile?
Like you said, it's a metaphoric thing to refer to.
It's not a metaphysical to have a very metaphorical.
Poetic imagination changed the life of England. Could you tell me how the Romantic poetry changed the life of England?
I'll tell you, like the entire.
Give me one positive thing about how the Romantic, you know, or how the Romantic imagination changed, you know, the face of England.
Yeah,
I think, you know,
it did.
This is, you know, a fallacy, because even the Romantic period was anti-Romantic, you know, more abuse of children, more abuse of women. So, yeah, there was like imagination, like they talk about like man's free will, but give me just one thing to indicate, you know, that the Romantic imagination transfigured or changed the life of the English people to the right.
Of course it changed, and it was significant. If it weren't, we wouldn't be studying it right now.
And we would have studied
classical.
classical.
The entire era of Romanticism.
I think you should agree with us that the Romantic age was anti-Romantic. And this, like, you know, I think Ms. Ahlam wants to share with me that, you know, the Romantic age was not romantic. And this is the great paradox itself. It was not romantic.
They were speaking about it because they lacked it in their real life. So they wanted to voice it
but
out.
like, okay, here, if we are talking about revolutions, like, you know, poetic revolutions, yes, like, it is very devastating.
But it wouldn't be a revolution. He didn't publish his work at that time. If he published it, then it would be a revolution at the same time. But he, like...
Because it was dangerous.
Tell me a poet who published his work while he is...
Exactly.
Yeah, most of the poets, like, privileged poets. It seems like we have one question. They don't know that those who raise a question, they gain marks. You see, so I'm adding 1 mark to Rana, and I'm adding 1 mark to who? Like, yes, they are gaining 2 marks. So you don't know. I was, okay, you support either team. You are gaining more credit. Yes? Still, like, the auction is available? What does it mean the auction is available?
She's a guest, by the way.
Yes? Who? No, she's not guest. She's taking the course.
I want to consider
Might be from the other class.
two sides because maybe he hit two birds in one stone. Maybe he meant by tiger as the previous or the ancient era of poets, or maybe he is talking about the industrial revolution. According to these words, it's really you
Yeah, but you have like when you are answering in the exam, you have to commit yourself to one. Okay. Yes.
I think he talks about the industrial revolution. In the first stanza of the last stanza, he repeats them. I want to explain the stanza itself. Burning pride is said about the machinery that burns coal to make new products, which is save time and effort. In the course of the night, these machines work all the day without stopping.
Yeah, I like
And
you.
what immortal hand or eye refer to the inventors. Their names are still mentioned until today, so their names are immortal. Their frame is a triple symmetry. This side of industrial revolution have a good side and bad side. The good side with the new products, saving efforts, money, time, and the dark side with the corruption and the pollution because it brings plenty.
Thank you for supporting. Anybody wants to support the other team? Like I think Ola is supporting them.
Yeah, I just want to say that Ms. Ahlam just indicated the reconciliation from the very beginning when she said that this poem is about revolution. Whatever that the revolution is against the industrial revolution or against the
Yeah, but here we are debating. We are debating. We don't want to reconcile. I think, she's giving us credit when she reconciled, because she is giving us credit. And, I was very happy when she started doing that, because she was giving us credit right from the very beginning.
I'm giving myself before giving you.
Okay, I know. Thank you very much. It's been a very interesting debate. Like, yes, you can add something.
I want to add something too.
I want to say that William Blake was known for being so influenced by a traditional theme which is Greek gods, and we can see that. So, in for example, what the hammer and what the chain, actually, it can refers to a Greek god. It's called Hephaestus, I think. It was a blacksmith god who was making weapons for other gods, and they were disdained him for his ugliness. And then also who sees fire, it can also refer to Prometheus bound when he sees fire to mankind against the will of Zeus. Also with the wings, it can be refers to, I think, Accius or something that wings.
Be used against you because
no, it's not against me. He's using
classical time. That's all they focused about. Maybe he's trying to use this to actually attack them because most of their poetry used a lot of these.
No, but he's sticking. No, he's sticking to a very traditional theme.
Use the Greek mythology.
Yes, we're logging a dead horse, in fact, Okay, guys, I want to, finish this wonderful debate. But again, thank you very much for listening. And I want to tell you, like me and Ahlam embrace the notion that this is about poetic imagination. Okay? And as I told you, I am the one, but I don't mind if you want to take that, to that extreme, because it might be about, but yes, me and Ms. Ahlam, and we play this trick, we think, but some other people strongly think it is about industrial revolution, and we don't mind. Just giving us the evidence. Yes.
He means industrial revolution in direct way, but about poetic imagination in direct way.
Okay. Yeah. So it is figurative and literal, but again, I think the BBC interpretation, a couple of years ago, I brought this BBC. Do you remember when I brought the BBC interpretation? And most of the critics asserted that it was about industrial revolution, which I didn't like, and I tried to bring interpretation which was quite different. Yes, the last.
As students in the exam, can we depend on our opinion on one of these items?
Yeah, of course you can choose either of them, but again you have to go and to bring evidence to substantiate whatever you want to say. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Sahlam. And clap for this team. Clap for the other team. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.